considered as part of the survey.
No, I would agree. I think we talked about, there are some issues that are policy issues that we as a board and our operator has to make. And there's some issues that are legal compliance issues that will help us to understand by part of the road, by route, which is which.
How is the next meeting going to be, how is the transparency going to happen with the community so people will know when the next meeting is?
Well, I think we're going to see if we can schedule a meeting tonight, and therefore we'll post it on our website.
That's not email every person on the route. I just found out about it this week, and I'm on Community on Miguel, lived there for 14 years. So can you email the parents that this will affect? I have to like call all my neighbors.
Okay.
So
Well, let me
No.
start.
Everybody signed in on the sign-in sheet, so.
So, is July 13th an acceptable date?
Is this for the full board and the consultants?
Right, consultants.
And can we get CHP and first
Yeah.
I think, yeah, this is the date they can all make.
That's the date they can all make it? I'm good for you, July.
Okay, so we'll schedule, the next meeting is July 13th. Let's do it at 7 o'clock at a location in Orinda. I don't know if the city wants to use, the city meeting facility or.
We can have it, it'll either be here or in,
Can we get a promise that you will email or send a letter to all the families that are on the bus route? It's just crazy to me that none of us were informed.
It's also a
Officially.
major, sorry,
Yeah.
it's also a night that we have a huge event at OPP that night.
It is the only night we've got all those other people here. Tonight was OIS graduation, to be honest.
We're making us have to decide between our kids having an activity and being here, so
Right.
obviously we'll do the right thing and be here.
I understand the complication.
Thursday.
Right. July 15th.
Yeah.
So we will be sending those to all the people who have been on the routes this year, that we have email addresses for.
Would it be possible to also talk to, I know there were some engineers in the crowd.
Well, you're welcome to contact staff, and then we'll try and set up meetings. It may be, in some cases, some of these meetings are appropriately with the written staff, and you know how to find them.
When's the report gonna be done? We need about 3 or 4 weeks to, so we need it next week then. We got a deadline on
Well,
that?
it's not going to be done next week.
Okay, so how much time are you gonna give us?
We'll give you as much time as we
Are you
can.
gonna make a decision on a draft report?
Let me guess, I'm gonna get the report on the 14th of July? Is that what's gonna happen?
No.
13?
Well, you're telling us to commit, can you commit to the report?
I think where we are is we have a draft report right now that identifies issues and concerns about stops and corridors. And what we're gonna do between now and the meeting on the 13th is our Public Works Department is gonna go through in that corridor, along with the consultants, with any information that any of you would like to send to our Public Works Director. If you've done work that, it's fine, you can, you don't have to. But to give any information, they're gonna go through those corridors and see, are there ways to make adjustments to those corridors so that the school bus can pass up those roadways. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the consultants are gonna be looking at the other options for the same pathway for the narrower buses, since they don't present some of the same geometric challenges that the larger buses do. The third thing is we're going to be talking to First Student, or the contractor, and find out what conditions need to be in place in order for them to deliver the bus services. So all that's
You have
going
a
to happen.
contract with First Student right now.
Yeah,
It's not voided. You're in contract with First Student. Why are you revising your contract with First
I'm
Student?
not, excuse me, you know what, let me just clarify. We're not revising the contract with First Student. We have a contract with First Student. They provide services for our entire program, and they will determine if they can deliver those transit services on those corridors. Now, they may say, no, we can't. They may say, yes, we can under these conditions. So that's what we need to determine from them also, so that we can know what transit services we can provide. And again, that's why we want to do these 3 things in a parallel.
Is it a coincidence?
So we could,
Is it a coincidence that the meeting for next time involves
most of us elsewhere and all people, and that's the night of a huge event for that.
It is
whole
barely a
world.
coincidence.
It's
'Cause
just a
I didn't know
coincidence.
that until just 2 minutes ago.
I mean, so many of
it-
us
it
are
is
from
the-
elsewhere and all, and that is a huge
I understand,
event
it's the
for
date
our
at
club.
which we can get these various people who have an input to the decision together.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
And they're not even here tonight, I mean.
So why weren't they here
Juliet, did you
tonight?
have other comments?
There's just one other.
They need to meet before the
That's all right.
meeting. They need to
Okay.
meet before the meeting.
There was just one other thing, our consultant has come to the conclusion of the work that we asked them to do, and we've reached the contract limit, and so, okay. Right. Sorry, excuse me.
Do you have any other comments or?
I just would reiterate that, the striping has been brought up quite a bit. But as an example, if you were to replace the double yellow with a broken single yellow line, which allows passing, right? If a bus crosses that and there's an accident, they would likely be at fault too, because you would expect if you cross the double yellow line, you are taking that risk by crossing the double yellow line. Not to say that striping can't be changed, but understand it's not so much just exactly what the striping is, it's someone has to make a determination who was at fault, right? It's a little more clear, obviously, with double yellow line versus no lines at all, but if you're driving just your vehicles, not a school bus, but you're in an area where there's no center line, there's an accident, someone's gonna be determined at fault, right? And
That's if there is an accident, though. We're talking about it being a violation just by crossing it with no accident. Those are two completely
I
different things.
understand that, but remember how a lot of this came up was there was an accident, and so first
One
student
fender
has
bender in 23
concerns.
years.
So,
Yeah.
that's a
Big
determination
deal.
separate, I'm just letting you know in terms of
I'm
the
sure there's
stretching.
been accidents on every route in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Larry, that accident was in a 7.5-foot wide lane. The bus had no opportunity to not be at fault at that particular location.
And
We're looking
Those
for
are-
solutions,
the other-
not
the
additional
other side-
problems.
The other lane is 11.5 feet. That line should be adjusted.
So, I think those are some of the good detailed work that those of you who have gone out and surveyed the street and worked with the staff on. So I think there's no other item on this, and we move on to item 5C, which is the one where we're moving. Again, thank you all for coming. I've been on this board for about 20 years, and it's been our goal to continuously provide customers. That remains our goal. And on all